Alright, so what you see here is Mother Nature giving me ideas. So sometimes just taking a step back and observing nature can lead to some new ideas and innovative techniques that we can apply to the garden. Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to explore some ideas surrounding overwintering turnips and rutabagas so that hopefully they will be able to set seed in the spring. Okay, so what you see here is a bunch of leaves that have collected in the garden area. So one fall morning I was walking out to the garden and I noticed it had been a really windy night and all these leaves had blown into the garden and had essentially mulched this section of the garden for me. You can see here we have dried up dead okra plants, we have some hollyhock that's kind of hard to see, but it's in there, and then we have a bunch of rutabagas. And this leaf mulch can be a really good insulative material that I'm wondering if I could use it to overwinter these rutabagas so that hopefully I can collect the seed in the spring. Now, this particular variety of rutabaga I have not been able to find seed from where I got it from before, and I like this variety, so hopefully I'll be able to collect some seed in the spring. I did transplant 2 rutabaga plants inside the cold frame so that hopefully if these don't pan out, hopefully those will. But you know, even that's not a guarantee at this point. I've never really done this before. So we'll see how it goes. The rutabaga plants, the hollyhock, the okra, and any other plant stalks that are still left in the ground is essentially acting as like a comb to collect these leaves as a mulch. So of course, this is what nature naturally does. And so I'm going to see if I can apply this in my own way to the garden and document how it goes. Okay, so underneath this pile of grass and leaves I have some turnip plants. Go ahead, pull that away. So essentially, you can kind of see there's one here. So there's one turnip plant, and there's one more right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I am going to hammer in some branches that I cut up into shorter segments, and these are essentially going to act as the dead plant stalks that would otherwise be there to collect the debris. The added advantage of hammering in these sticks is that once I put the debris in here, these sticks will help hold that debris even when strong winds come, either in the coldest times of winter or in the transition into spring. This should largely keep the grass and leaves and whatnot in place during those times. Now that is completed, I'm going to add some grass clippings on the surface of the soil. Hopefully it will act as a dense insulation right on the soil surface. Now I'm just going to add some leaves on top, and hopefully this will add a little bit more airspace and some additional protection from any frost or anything like that. Now to top it all off, I'm just going to add a few branches on top. This will just help for further security of keeping the leaves in place. So with this same concept in mind, in this section of the garden we have some dry bean stalks and lima bean stalks, and I'm just going to take some grass clippings and leaves and use that as a mulch in between these dried up plant stalks. So hopefully these stalks will help to keep the leaves in place during the winter and protect the ground, and we can build some soil fertility over time. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this video and you got something from it. I will probably do an update to this video in the spring to see how this goes, if it worked. I'm hoping that I did not just create a mouse motel, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully the turnip plants will survive and I will be able to collect viable seed from them next season. Also, one additional note that I'm not really sure about. With these turnip plants, I was kind of going back and forth between covering up the leaves and not covering up the leaves. I know photosynthesis might not be quite as active during the winter time, but I'm not sure what's more important is keeping the leaves protected from the frost, or if they need some light, and which is more important with this concept. So what I did was I kind of compromised. I tried to keep the leaves hardly covered at all. Also, I'm debating if it was a good idea to put the grass down because that's a denser material. I was thinking, it might help really have a good insulative factor, but the leaves would provide more air space as well, and so it would help to keep the area around the turnips a little bit more dry and a little bit more ventilated, so that hopefully they wouldn't rot or anything like that. I'll have to monitor that and see how that goes. So with that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.